Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Here we are again for another challenge, another day. Today is day 24th. Oh my God, almost only 6 days left. And at the beginning, I thought I'm not going to be able to do 30 days lives. And here I am every single day. And for you watching the recordings, send me your notes. People keep sending me notes privately. It would love to see your notes publicly because also this is about communicating. It's about how you can express your ideas and thoughts openly and feel confident about it. And today I bring this topic which I have no clue about it. I heard the term, but I don't never knew about the specifics. So let's see what's is about. Is the broken rung. Never heard about this. Well, heard about it, but don't really know the specifics, but we will discover together. So before we get started, it's important to know here that women remain underrepresented at every level despite making up the majority of college graduates since 1990s. This is scary, isn't it? So, for many reasons, they get married, stay home, get children, have children, stay home, or start working and find an unfriendly environment, go back home. Whatever it is, we need to change that. We need ladies, we need to, if we really need to build a better and diverse and inclusive working place, we need to take actions ourselves. Another one, since 2015, the representation of women in the C-suite has increased from 17% to 21%. So this is good news. Something has been happening. So we have to continue working. So this is why we have these conversations. So the next one, about 1 to 5 C-suite executives is a woman, 1 in 5 only. And only 1 in 25 is a woman of color. We have talked about the biases against women of color, Latinas, Asians, nothing to be just overlooked. It's really serious. And the next one here, women aren't leaving their companies at higher rates than men. They are also asking for promotions and negotiating salaries at the same rates. So, which means that this is a good news about it that women are staying and they start asking for more promotions and becoming a better negotiators. So it's a learning process for everybody, but it's good that we see changes, even if it's minor. 17 to 21% doesn't sound a lot, but let's embrace it and let's cheer for it, celebrate it. The next one here, parity means, or parity remains out of reach without fundamental changes early in the pipeline. We will get to the gender equality faster by focusing early in the pipeline, not the top. Means, and this is what I love, this is what my job is, to bring this awareness, to support these women at the middle level management, because this is the ones that are to become the senior executives, to make the big changes. But the changes start from the foundation. Here comes their communication architect. Everything comes, it's based on the foundation, how you lie strong foundations. And if you don't have strong foundations, you cannot build anything at the top of it. And communication is your strong foundation. And also companies need to look into, we will not have women at the C level if we don't start building, seeding, working on women in the lower level. So it's clear, makes sense, but as we know, common sense is not that common. And today, let's go back then to our broken rug with some real examples of how it happens and what we can do about. And the first example here comes from hiring. Let's see what is the case today. So get back to my information here. Let's see, hiring. Okay. A colleague advocates for men with strong potential over a woman with proven experience. Why it matters? When a more experienced candidate is passed up in favor of someone with less experience, your company can miss out on a valuable wisdom, talent, and skills, and also is unfair. And in this case, the woman loses out on an opportunity that she is well suited for. What can you do about it? Point out how experienced the woman is for the role and note the value of proven experience over potential. We talked about this before. There's a bias where men are taken into consideration for positions based on their potential and what they could develop to become, while women are always based on their experience. So they have to prove that they can do it in the first place. So there's a big imbalance there. You might also take a moment to explain why it happens, which I will explain now, and why it matters, as I just said. In the long term, it's worth recommending that everyone on your team aligns ahead of time on clear, objective criteria for open roles, then uses them to evaluate all job candidates. This minimizes bias by making sure that every candidate is held to the same standard. Again, facts, clear criteria for all transparency. Why it happens? Research shows that people often hire or promote men based on their potential. But for women, potential isn't enough. You have to show evidence. Women are often held to a higher standard and need to show more evidence of their competence to get hired and promoted. This is all based on performance bias. So by all means, the reason women keep learning, learning, and they believe they are never ready because the environment is always asking them to prove, while the environment is telling men, I trust you. I trust that you will be able to become the person we need for that specific role. Not fair at all. And let me just go back a little bit because I forgot to explain for the ones who don't know what exactly a broken rung means. The broken rung is when you consider the first step, from the entry level position to a management position that is broken, meaning that the women are in this entry point level, but there's no bridge for them. There's no for them to go to transition to build up the stairs, the path, the bridge for the for a higher level. So this is what's called the broken rung. Is a broken rung at the setup to manager is the biggest obstacle that women face on the path to leadership. Okay, that is what the broken rung is. So let's continue with the next example for today, and it goes to reviews and promotions. Here's the situation. In a meeting about promotions, someone questions whether a Latina candidate has the skills for a manager role. So the Latina me here is already why it matters. If your Latina colleague is in fact qualified for the promotion, this comment is a problem. It could lead to her being ruled out unfairly, which would be a loss for her and for the company. Moments like this contribute to a bigger problem. For example, for every 100 men promoted into manager roles, only 71 Latinas are. This broken rung on the ladder to leadership means there are too few Latinas managers to promote into senior roles. So again, the companies keep saying we need to have more women in leadership, but if you don't build those women to the position, you don't give them the path that you're breaking those paths. So this is just blah, blah, blah. What to do? Ask your colleague for concrete examples of why they think she lacks the required skills. Show me the facts. If he doesn't offer much evidence, say so. I don't see a problem with her skills. You can also check her skill set against the list of criteria for the role. If she meets all or most of the criteria, that can help settle the matter. All or most. Okay? The men, they don't even consider if he meets all. Probably they'll go for the most. And establishing clear criteria for performance reviews and promotions can help minimize biased decision making. And let's start also, here's my note on that. Let's start also trusting the woman can grow into the role. Because for everything we do, there's a learning curve, there's a learning process. So if let's start welcoming a woman for the potential, that we don't need to be showing all our experience in paper all the time. So fair and square, that's the way it should be. Why it happens? Latinas face several layers of bias regarding their skills. As women, they are often stereotyped as less competent than men. As Latina Americans, they tend to be stereotyped as less intelligent than white people. And as Latinas, they tend to be stereotyped as very family oriented and more suited to supporting roles, even if they are qualified for more senior positions. This is also rooted in performance bias. If you want to know more about performance bias, you can go back to the videos. There is one session exclusively talking about performance bias. So another example in reviews and promotions. This is the one. A manager describes a woman who reports to her as overly ambitious when she asks for promotion. And then you see here the wording is a woman manager calling a woman colleague, as overly ambitious when she asks for promotion. Why it matters? When a woman is criticized for competing for a promotion, it can have a negative impact on her and on the company as a whole. She may miss out on the chance to grow at work. Others may hear the message that they shouldn't ask for promotions, and the company may miss an opportunity to advance a talented team member and make her feel valued. I read an article, don't have the reference here, the sources, but which is saying there was a huge percentage of women, the percentage of in the interviews where men mostly, all of them negotiate the salary they offer, while the majority of women don't. They just accept what is given to them. So, and here we go. And when you hear something like that happening, it's also something that put them to step back and don't dare to ask. But we should dare to ask. We should learn how to negotiate. That is a different thing. We should stop giving up doing things. Instead, we should learn how to play the game. That is what we have to have in our mindset. Only by playing the game, mastering how to play the game, then you can start putting, your own cards at the table. A moment. Okay, what to do? Prompt your colleague to explain her thinking. For example, you can say, generally, I think we like ambition as a company. Why does it bother you in this case? Good question. You can also suggest that there may be a double standard at work by saying something like, How do you feel when a man on your team asks for promotion? This is more provocative, so you have to know to whom you ask such certain question. And if you think that women at the workplace are often criticized when they seek promotions, this could be a good opportunity to say so. Speak up, ladies, speak up. Why it happens? Because of stereotypical expectations that women should be selfless and giving. They can face criticism when they appear to be out for themselves. For example, when they compete for a bigger job. By contrast, we expect men to be driven and ambitious, and we tend to think well of them when they show those qualities. So, watch yourself, unconscious bias. This is also rooted in likability bias, but the fact that you don't perceive that you um, make a comment that it feels okay, that you feel that your colleague is just what does she think about herself? Mm? So when you think about that, it's a moment for you to slow down to think and say, why am I thinking like this? Is she not really qualified, or is that I am biased against the situation? So that is very important because we fall into bias traps very easily, more than we would like to think so. So then next one goes to reviews and promotions as well. Your company announces its latest round of promotions. Nearly everyone moving up is a man. And also, if we go back to the broken rung, this might be a reason we don't have enough women to move up because the rung is, the bridge there is broken. So we are not developing them to higher levels. Why it matters? This imbalance may signal bias in how your company evaluates employees for promotion, which means women may be missing out on valuable career opportunities, and your company may be failing to get the strongest candidates into leadership positions. This is a widespread problem in corporate America, and I think it's in corporation all over the globe. On average, women are promoted at lower rates than men, while Black women and Latinas are promoted at even lower rates than women overall. So, what can we do in such situation? If you're involved with reviews, seize the opportunity to make the process more fair. Suggest that your company set detailed review criteria upfront and then stick to them. We talked about this several times. Clear criteria for everybody, not only for people hiring, not only for people who are making reviews, and but for everybody, because then everybody knows the selection process. Consider using